Yo, this is Ty Van, aka Teddy Crucifix, aka your pastor's favorite rapper. We got Byron L Cogdell on the other side of Daytona. And this is he's the pastor on the Rapper podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
This weird setup that we need to tell these people about. We troubleshoot for an hour and a half.
Hey, man, COVID is real. I don't have COVID. Neither one of us has COVID, but we're living in this COVID world, you know.
Yeah.
And y'all know we've been doing this podcast face to face from the beginning of the podcast, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Since day one.
Yeah. So we got a couple weeks where we got to be remote for some personal reasons, but, you know, we trying to work it out. Trying to get the technical difficulties and all of that stuff worked out, you know?
So with that being said, Byron is going to look way more handsome than your boy.
I mean, in all fairness, I think I always look way more handsome. Just saying. Hey,
man, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. In my eye, I'm going to find you a gentleman.
I dig it.
Hey, what is that?
That's like techno. Gotta put the techno in there, man.
Yeah, man. So, man, I hate when we say, what have you been up to? It's like we wasn't talking like for 2 hours before we got on the podcast.
But it's kind of like, it's an alley-oop. Like we're telling our people, you know, what we've been up to. So, I'm going to cut this music.
A video or something?
Nah.
What is going on?
It's supposed to be our background music, you know what I'm saying? Like, hearing the technical difficulties that come with trying to do this remotely opposed to doing it face-to-face. Because a lot of stuff, I'd be looking right over there, and you could just hear it, you know? But now, you know.
Well, listen, so before we say, you know, what we've been up to, this is my humble abode. This is where I record. There's so much hip-hop stuff in here that the camera's not getting all that, but you see Biggie and Tupac in the back.
Shout out to Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah, I wish you guys could see.
Apparently,
it's pretty dope in here.
Apparently, Tupac is praying. We don't know that for sure, but
we don't. But that's what the picture symbolizes, that he's praying. So, yeah. But yeah, so man, work. I've been working. I may have to go to the hospital. That's crazy. You put your hand on it, I put mine.
I was trying to get the camera to focus.
I was trying to show that my hand is kind of messed. I can't fully open my hand right now.
Yeah.
So I may have to go to the hospital. I'm sorry, urgent care.
Yeah. To
see what's going on. I want to get an x-ray because to not be able to open your hand is kind of scary.
It is very scary. It's very scary. You know, I'm praying for you, bro.
Thank you.
Pray for this man. Y'all listening right now, pray for this man. Pray that he gets the help that he needs and they're able to treat his injury well, and the Lord heals him. So.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Yeah. But yeah, working, living life. I'm thankful to be living. Thankful to do this podcast again.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
go put your hand in the camera. You out of focus.
I know. I'm trying to like do some stuff to not bring attention to it, but for me,
bro, we gonna keep it real. Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, you know, it's been the same old. Just been trying to get back in the swing of things. You know. Trying to get on this path of wellness and healthiness, you know. So got some big stuff coming up for the church that I'm excited about. So
would you like to expound?
We can. We usually reserve that to the end, but we can talk about it now. So y'all know
it's our podcast. We do what we want.
But I'm talking about, you know what I mean. You got rhythm shooters, like we do podcasting in rhythm, like you used to how things.
You right, but we Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so y'all know we're on this path of replanting a church. Both Ty and I serve a church called Identity, and we are kind of like a diverse church plant, multi-ethnic church plant in the heart of Daytona Beach. And, you know, we have been trying to figure out when is the right time to go back to in-person worship and when should we kind of put our foot on the gas of trying to re-engage people with the gospel. And, you know, obviously we've been preaching the gospel all the time and trying to share the gospel, but when can we just kind of get back out there? You know, we live in Florida. Everybody's outside in Florida, right? We behind the ball.
Yeah.
So we just been praying to the Lord when we could actually jump back in, and we believe this is the season for us to jump back in. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, man. I'm excited too.
Yeah,
So
and
let's get
hey,
to.
we gotta tell them this because a lot of y'all watch us and y'all ask questions about maybe scripture, about certain things. We've had people inquire about church, because we do church online right now. We're gonna be doing a hybrid model soon. We also do a Bible study on Wednesday nights. It's called Mid, and it's a midweek Bible study. That's why we call it Mid. It's midweek Bible study. And right now we're walking through Matthew chapter 5. We're going to try to go through the Sermon on the Mount. But I think that's a good time to jump in because we're doing it online and it's on Facebook. So if you want to jump in on our midweek Bible study, follow me on Facebook or add me on Facebook or just jump to my page, Byron L. Cogdell. And every Wednesday at 6 p.m., we'll be doing the mid Bible study.
There we go.
Yeah.
We need to do like never mind, we'll talk about that later. But let's get to the reason why we're here for this podcast, man. It's a few 5 albums that dropped. Barney and Friends, Hip Hop Harry, Dragon
Blues Clues. Steve from Blues Clues had everybody crying this week.
Steve dropped the hardest single.
Can I talk about that for a second?
Man, please, go ahead.
I was not impressed. Like I wasn't either. I saw the clip over and over and over, and I was like, yo, I can't wait to like lay on my couch at 9:45 and watch this and go and be moved to tears. And I'm a crier. Bro, I watched that thing. It was like, this is what y'all was like upset about? Man, get out of here.
Bro, I agree. Trust me. When I saw it, I was just like, all right, cool. I'm glad Steve's doing all right. And then when I got on social media the next day and I saw the memes of people was like, SpongeBob crying and whoever just crying. I'm just like, bro, it wasn't that deep. Like, yeah. I smiled. I'm like, I'm glad Steve's doing all right. You did kind of leave us like a dad saying, hey, I'm going to go to the store get some milk. I'll be right back.
Right, never come back.
Hey, never come back.
I ain't going to lie. I didn't really grow up in the Blues Clues era. So it didn't really matter to me.
I find it funny how we're 3 years apart and we live totally different lifestyles. Because I'm a Blues Clues baby.
Because you're a 90s kid. Baby. You're a 90s baby. I'm an 80s baby. And a lot changed between Ronald Reagan and George Bush.
I was about to say George Bush, yeah. But I mean, obviously so. So yeah, I wasn't moved though. I was confused when I got on social media the next day. Yeah. And people were emotional. It's just, I don't know. It's like, y'all need validation. I'm sorry. People sensitive. We'll leave it at that.
Well, look, shout out to y'all. I'm glad y'all had great childhoods. And I'm glad that after 25 years, we could still celebrate a show like Blues Clues. So anyway, Steve dropped the album, or he dropped a single at least. Nickelodeon dropped the album, I guess. And then who else?
Man, so Kanye dropped the album.
Wait. Let's hit these other singles first. Shout out to KB. Okay. KB dropped a new single. It's fire. I like it.
Worship in the Mosh Pit, right?
Worship in the Mosh Pit. I like that. I have to single.
I have to listen to it.
Yeah, it's dope to me. And then Derek Minor dropped the album. Did you listen to that?
I didn't even know he dropped the album, so I have to go listen to it.
We'll do another pod on Derek Minor. I listened to a little bit of it. I'm not going to give a full review. It features a lot of the artists that we've talked about in the past. So, I mean, the first couple of songs, we heard Paris Cherez on there. I heard Foggy Raw on there. I heard those are the two that I know for sure are on there. So we'll get to that at some point. And then my boy Drake, Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah, man. Drake dropped the album. Kanye dropped the album. Baby Kim, I was about to say Lil Kim. Baby Kim.
Oh, sorry. I hit the wrong button.
Wow.
Nah, wow. Shout out to Baby King.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
All right, man. Here's the one that y'all want us to talk about. I know y'all want us to talk about it. Somebody already asked me about it. They already asked somebody else about it, and they put it on the comments, and they did this and they did that. What do y'all think about the Kanye album? Man, I feel like I gotta turn off the music for that. What do we think about the Kanye album?
I didn't even know music was playing, my boy.
Oh, okay. Well,
is it playing? I'm not picking it up.
It is playing, but it might be good that you can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear it at all. Right. But there was a lot of hype for both albums.
Yeah.
I think
when you say
Kanye.
both, you mean Kanye and Drake, or you
Yes,
mean
I'm
like,
sorry. So we're going to stay with for this conversation just because of the beef that was, hyping up both albums. We're going to talk about Kanye and Drake's albums.
okay,
Um, leading up to both albums, there was a lot of anticipation.
yeah,
Um, people had high expectations for both albums. I think Kanye did a phenomenal job of keeping you on the edge of your seat.
for sure.
With the 3 to 4 listening. I wouldn't even say parties. It was like listening concerts.
For sure.
That seemed they have got better performance wise every time he did it. So like the first one was just like red jacket Kanye just walking, just the empty arena.
I know.
Well, not an empty arena.
Then
Go ahead.
by number 3, he's like acting like Sting up in the Raptors, like coming down with jackets and all that stuff. And then number 4, they got Marilyn Manson and the baby dapping each other up and eating animal crackers on the front porch of his mama's house. Like, it's crazy,
bro. Did you hear Drake fans, they actually went to, or I'm not gonna say went to, I guess some Drake fans went to Kanye's old house and vandalized it.
What?
Did you hear that? Yeah.
No, that's terrible. I ain't got no love for that.
We're not journalists. How true is that? I don't know. I will do some research because I'm probably gonna clip this up for TikTok. But if it's true, I'm gonna put it up. And
bro out here doing Angela Yee type journalism right now. Sorry.
Dang, bro, I am. I'm doing a rumor report. Right? Rumor has it.
Rumor reports. We ain't here for that. We here for the Bible.
What? Well, you can't say that. We're talking about Kanye and Drake's album. They go
we love
hand in
hip hop
hand.
though. They want to hear us.
Bro, so don't
about
try to make me feel bad for break. I'm breaking.
It ain't got nothing to do with his house getting spray painted.
Why not, bro? If I'm saying they brought up the house because you remember, I think the 3rd or 4th listening party, he had like a house replica.
Yeah.
So that's why they went to vandalize it.
I dig it, bro. I dig it.
Gosh, man.
Hey, man.
But yeah, so yeah, that built a lot of hype and anticipation for Kanye's album. So much so that Universal knew what we was feeling, and they just dropped the album.
So
wow,
oh, come on, he's an amateur.
It's the homie too. You can't even see it, can you?
Who is that? Caleb?
You can't. That's Vic. You can't.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let me put my phone on mute right now.
Look, I feel like I'm name dropping Caleb Gordon all the time now. Cause let me just say Caleb Gordon. I never even talked to this young guy before. I don't even know if he walked in my house right now, I'd be like, "Yo, what's up?" But
we said Caleb Gordon. Our views on TikTok. The rest of them videos is
I dig it. All right, let's just get right to it then. Look, because we started off this podcast basically having Kanye as one of the people that we had a focus on. So Kanye, Chance, DMX had just passed at the time. All of these Christian rappers or CHH rappers who, are saying, I'm a Christian, not a rapper. I'm a Christian rapper, all that type stuff. And Kanye has always been in our conversation. So you and I won't say we've been waiting on this album, but we've kind of been like, sitting around just thinking like, man, what is Kanye going to do? I even remember us saying like, is Kanye a gospel rapper or a Christian rapper or what? And we said, gotta wait till the next album. So the next album is in, and is he a Christian rapper or not?
I think with this album, I would say Kanye is a rapper that's a Christian.
Okay, I'll buy it. And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
And something to bring up. Let me get my humble spirit in. People are asking why are we doing this divide of Christian rappers, rappers that are Christians, Christian hip hop, gospel rappers? It's not us that is trying to do this divide. It's the artists literally, like they gave us the categories that, like, again, last podcast we said Christian hip hop and gospel rappers. Yeah. These are terms that have been in the community for some time now. It's not like we're trying to bring some divide here. But yeah, with that being said, I think this album, I would consider Kanye a rapper that's Christian, which is kind of, I'm not gonna say disheartening for me, but I know Jesus is King. I would have been like, he's a Christian rapper, or with that album, a gospel rapper. Yeah. But this album it came across more as a rapper that's Christian, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm
Nothing
not
wrong with
like
that.
throwing shade. There's nothing. It just listening to it. That's what I got from it. So,
Yeah.
what about you?
Yeah, I mean, if we're just dealing with the idea of is Kanye a Christian rapper or he's a rapper who's Christian, I was excited, but I think Kanye gave us all the hints before now. I know I'm fuzzy, but he gave us all the hints before now what things will be like. So I didn't really have high expectations for the album to have a lot of gospel rap or even clean Christian rap in it. I kind of knew or kind of felt like I knew what direction he was going in. So I kind of prepared myself for that. And then like you and I talk about this all the time. We were big on Jesus is King. Like we were really big on Jesus is King. We played Jesus is King at church, like not for worship, but like, pre-church and, a little bit after church because there was just so much there. And then on the flip side, I think that shows where we are, and that shows who we are as people who love hip hop and people who love Jesus, and how we might be different from a lot of this world that we seem to hover around. Because a lot of people, especially in the CHA space, did not like Jesus is King for some reason. I still don't know why, but we loved it. So I knew that we would look at Donda in a different light. So let's create a framework for this. Let's talk about Donda. Let's talk about like the artwork and all of that around Donda, like the Donda wave. And then let's have a conversation about the actual music. And then I'd love for us to talk about like Kanye's where he is with his art as a Christian. Is that fair?
Okay, I think it's fair. Every category that you just named, I'm not going to remember, so I'm going to depend on you to keep us in these category buckets.
Yeah.
With that being said, I have on exclusive Donda merch right now. If you want to get one, holla at me. It's very exclusive.
It's a plain black T-shirt. I want y'all to know that.
No, this is Donda. This is Donda merch right here. Okay, this is the album. This is the merch from the album. If you want it, holla at me. I can get you right. Your boy got the plug. Oh, I am the plug when it comes to the Donda merch. Yeah, but
I got this Donda bag. If y'all want this, like, there you go. Exclusive Donda bag. You can carry all kinds of stuff in it.
I got a Donda speaker holder.
Yeah, there we go.
It holds my speakers up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so
I'm looking for other stuff.
I see you.
I got this Donda pen top right here.
I have a Donda notebook. Yeah. Exclusively.
But anyway, I forgot about that notebook.
So man, listen, holla at me on the plug. If you want the Donda notebook, I got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I forgot the buckets already, bro.
All right, man. What you just think generally about Donda? Like the hype around it, the overall, artistic spin to it. Like, what did you think about that?
Okay, so first listen. my real first listen, actually, my brother here on the other side of Daytona, he did some illegal journalism type of stuff, and
I forgot about that.
I'm at work, and then I get a text message with a Google Docs file, and I'm like, I click on it, and this is before the album came out.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks before the album came out.
And I click on it. I'm thinking it's fake, bruh had the whole album.
I listened to it. Album. At least
I listened to it one time, and then I got convicted. And I texted him. I texted Byron, I was like, bro, I got convicted based off the episode where he was like, when I watched the fight illegally.
Yep.
He was like, bro, you need to repent. I listened to it.
I was just gonna bring that up. I was gonna say, if y'all heard me pushing him to repentance about the fight that he bootlegged, then I have to rightfully in front of everybody repent and say I was wrong. Kanye, I apologize, and Universal Music Group, I apologize. I defrauded you, and that was not right, and I won't do it again.
Someone else apologized. Ty Van, I apologize on all streaming platforms right now.
They already hate that you promote your music so much.
Hey, they got to get over it. This our podcast. But yeah, so I listened to it when homie sent it. I wasn't really impressed. and it wasn't in the order that you guys heard it.
Yeah.
So I listened to it one time, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till the album comes out to listen to it again. When I listened to it, it was a different order.
Yeah.
Again, so from first listen, I wasn't really that impressed. I didn't think, me personally, I didn't feel like it met the hype that was built around it.
Yeah.
I listened to it a couple more times. It started to grow on me. So my synopsis or my takeaway from it is, me personally, the first half of the album, it feels like, Kanye just being the artist of Kanye. He was still being, sticking to his Christian. He wasn't going out, but I felt like the first half was like secular to me. And then towards the back half, it's like Christian, because I love the back half of it, as I continue to listen to it. But yeah, the first half of it, I can listen to it, but I'm not so crazy about it. But that's my takeaway from it.
I did.
What about you, Doc?
Yeah, I'll talk. I'll talk about how I got it. I'm not going to implicate anybody or bring anybody into all of that. But somebody randomly tweeted like, "Man, this Donda hitting," and this was like the first week of August. I was like, what?" So like I just liked it and was like, I literally wrote, what? And then he was like, check your email. I was like, first of all, how do you have my email? I mean, he's a friend of mine. I ain't gonna lie, he's a friend of mine. But
I was about to say, that's weird, bro.
He was like, check your email, and I was like, I saw it. I was like, man, should I listen to this junk? And I was like, bump it. Kanye is doing listening parties. He's doing one right now. Like, why can't I just listen? And the same thing happened, man.
You had to pay to get into that listening party, bro.
No, it was streamed on Apple Music. So, I mean, but anyway,
you have to pay for Apple Music. Let it go. Go ahead.
No, you don't. Anybody who logged on to Apple Music could listen to that listening party.
You can only log on to Apple Music if you have the subscription, bro.
No, I don't have Apple Music, and I watched the whole thing. When he did the live thing. But anyway, that's beside the point. I know I was wrong for listening to it regardless. But I listened to it that night, and to be honest, it was just more hype than anything. So I heard the Jay-Z verse, and I was like, whoa, he got a Jay-Z verse? And y'all know I don't call him Hov, because that's not right. But I listened to the Jay-Z verse, and then the one that we got did have the locks on the song. It had the locks on that one song, and I remember and this was right after the battle. Remember, this is right after verses. So I was like, yo, he got the locks on this joint. And then I only listened to like 3 joints. I ain't even listened to a lot of it. And then after Ty texted me, I definitely didn't listen to it because he ruined it for me. He ruined me in my sin. Yeah. And then when the album first came out, it came out on a Sunday, which was crazy. Yeah. So I saw it 20 minutes before church, and I was like, Byron, do not listen to this before church, bro. You got to preach. Like, don't do this. So I waited till after church, and I listened to the whole album all the way through. And I would just say, okay, if you're looking for Byron's overall score of the album, I give it a 6. Like, that's just my opinion. I give it a 6. There were some moments that are exciting. Sonically, I would give it probably a 9. Like, sonically, it's great. Production is pretty good. But the overall quality of it, I wasn't super impressed.
I agree.
What were some things you loved? What were some things you hated?
Like I said, so the back half I loved. The more I listened to the back half of it, when I say the back half, I mean before the part 2 of it. Like, those, it's like 4 or 5 songs. It's like Jail Part 2. Yeah. So excluding those songs, the back half, I'm trying to see where it starts. I can't even remember what song it starts. Maybe like, I think after the Donda chat is the first song. I don't know, but the back half of the album I like. I guess I just feel like the features on there, even though people they'll go contrary to what I'm saying, they feel like the features held the album, but I just feel like the features didn't make for good songs, if that makes sense. Like, so when you say Kanye was saying his go ahead.
When you say back half of the album, I'm guessing you're talking about when, like, Jesus Lord, New Again, Tell the Vision, Lord I Need You, which had the Sunday Service Choir. Come to Life, No Child Left Behind, Sunday Service Choir. So like, you like more of that stuff.
Yeah, because that the back half, like those songs you just said, it gives you a Jesus is King type of vibe. And again,
Yeah,
I like Jesus is King.
I love it.
Again, this is Ty's preference, not for you guys to go with. And this is my preference from listening to the album. But the
Yeah.
back half of it, I that's what I gravitate towards. Of course, there's some songs in the first half I can listen to, but if I had to, put some songs into rotation, it would be the back half of the songs.
Yeah.
You gave a rating. I wanted to give a rating too. I know we're gonna talk about another album, but I would give this one a 7. It's
Okay.
funny you said 6. I would give this one a 7.
Yeah.
Sonically, I agree with what you said. Sonically, it's a 9, but just like for listenability rather, I give it a 7.
Where does it fall in the midst of Kanye's, discography? Where would you say it is?
Maybe like song 5 or 6 or album 5 or 6. Because me personally, my dark twisted fantasy, my dark beautiful twisted fantasy. I think that's one.
Which I hate, by the way.
That's me.
My
But
least,
I think that's
my
one.
least favorite Kanye album. Well, 808s and Heartbreaks, but then My Beautiful Life, whatever.
Yeah, so my beautiful dark twisted fantasy, I would say that's his best album. Number 2 would be late registration. Number 3, college dropout. Number 4, graduation. Number 5, 808s and Heartbreaks.
Okay.
That's no, I take that back. Number 5, The Life of Pablo.
Okay.
I will put The Life of Pablo over that. So that's my top 5. So
Okay.
this album Donda doesn't even make Kanye's top 5 to me. So,
but Jesus is King does.
oh man, I forgot about. So I would take Pablo out. No, I would take Pablo out and put Jesus as King.
You would keep 808.
That's what I would do.
You had 808 in there?
I took 808s out too.
Okay.
So all right, hold on. So it's my beautiful dark twisted fantasy, late registration, college dropout, graduation. Actually, Jesus is King, graduation. That's my top 5.
Okay.
Kanye albums.
That's interesting.
Y'all work with me. This camera is weird. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's dope. Well,
but yeah, Donda wouldn't make the top 5 for me.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, nah. I don't have a top 5 Kanye list. I go back and forth on whether I like Kanye. I mean, and here's, maybe we should talk about this, right? So Kanye is a genius. Like there's no one out there who can deny that Kanye is a musical genius. Why?
I don't think it's fair. Me being an artist, I don't think it's fair when we say other artists are genius.
Why?
My reason for saying that is, I feel like that's a scapegoat for telling average people that they can't. I feel like, not to say that you're average, I'm saying when people say someone is a genius, you're saying that you can't do what they're doing. No, Kanye used to make. Listen what I'm saying. Kanye, before he was on, he used to make 5 songs a day. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to say is his work ethic got him to this point. It wasn't like he just, he woke up and it was.
So calling somebody a genius doesn't absolve them from working hard. Like the term genius doesn't allude to the fact that someone is just naturally above and beyond other people. It's what you gain out of your work ethic that actually promotes more genius activity from you, right? So it's this idea that there's just some kid out there who's just sitting down and they don't have to work that hard. They just naturally have it. I don't know if that's what a genius is. A genius is usually very upset. All people who we refer to as geniuses are very obsessive. They're very particular, but they do have a very good or very high work ethic, and they usually have a good amount of skill or gifting that is unique. And I think Kanye falls into that category. Like, I agree, he's worked his butt off. I agree that he is where he is because of his hard work. But I think there's ingenious in that. Like, I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan, right? And if you study Kobe Bryant tells you every single time, the thing that makes me better than most basketball players is I'm working way harder than everybody else. But if you ask any other basketball player, they're like, Kobe is a genius. Like, this dude knows where everybody's spots are. He knows how you're gonna come off the pick and roll, or what side you're gonna go to whenever you're dribbling. Like, he knows all of that. Well, he knows it because he's worked for it. He studied it. And him studying it has brought him into like a whole nother sphere of perfection in dealing with those things. So when I call Kanye a genius, I'm not absolving his hard work. I'm not saying he didn't work hard. I'm just saying, like, he's head and shoulders above many people who engage in art right now.
I feel you. I still stick by what I said.
To
I'm
me,
actually looking up the definition of genius right now. But
to
I
me,
feel what
Jay-Z
you're
is a genius. To me, Kobe is a genius. To me, Phil Jackson's a genius. And all of these people have worked very hard. Like, they don't. Who didn't work hard?
No, bro. I'm looking at the definition of genius.
Oh. Anyway, let me just finish my point though. To me, Kanye is a genius.
Because it says natural ability, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, but hard work doesn't. So would you say that you're naturally gifted at rapping?
I'm not. I had to work for this. Somebody had to teach me how to rap.
So you're saying you have no gifting. Everything that you are is only because of your work?
For me to say, because I feel like I'm a very skilled rapper, to get to this point, it took a lot, just like what you're saying. It took a lot of hard work. This wasn't natural. Somebody saw the potential in me, and they were gracious enough to sit me down and teach me the game. And then because he could have taught anybody how to rap, but it took me taking on what he taught me and then going into overdrive with that. I was writing 2 to 3 verses a day.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not natural.
This is a really good conversation, because you actually, this is an observation. You have an affinity to work. Like, you talk about work and hard work in a way that is almost like, it's the key to all success. Like, it's the key to all getting to the next thing. And I think that's because you have practiced and worked on your craft so often and so hard, but that doesn't absolve gifting. Like, everybody who works hard is also gifted. Like, there is I don't care who, and we're probably going to disagree on this. We can disagree on this forever, but I don't think there's one person out there in the world ever who is great at something who is not both gifted and have a hard work ethic or have a high work ethic. Like, I think Oprah has worked her butt off, but I also think she's very gifted. Like, I think Jay-Z has worked his butt off, but he's also very gifted, right? Like, we wouldn't know Jay-Z if he hadn't put in hella work. But that doesn't mean he's not gifted. In the same way, you may not see this, but I think you're gifted. I know that you're gifted. And your hard work is, one, a part of your gifting. And 2, it's going to promote your gifting. I don't think there's people out there who, I won't say it that way. I don't think it's a chasm. I don't think it's like you're either gifted or you're a hard worker. No, I think the people who are what we would label exceptional are both gifted and hard workers. And that's what makes them exceptional. Because, like, who would even, like, if you weren't gifted, would you even want to do rap? Would you even want to continue pursuing this? Would you even have the confidence to say, I'm better than this person and that person? And that's the Kanye gene. That's the Kanye trait right there too. Like, there's something in Kanye's mind that says, like, no, I'm better than you. Like, and it's not because, it's not a mystery. It's a combination of the fact that I think things and hear things and see things that you do not see. And I'm going to work harder than you to make it happen. That's a gift.
Bro, like I said, and I don't want to like stay on it forever. Like you said, we may agree to disagree. I just feel like for the person, maybe not you, but for the average person seeing someone like a Kanye or a Beyonce, when they say they are a genius at what they do, I actually feel like it's like a slap in the face, because it's like,
to who?
To the artist, to whoever they're trying to give that praise to. Is like, bro, not you. Obviously, you understand what I'm saying to a certain extent, but it's like, bro, it takes a lot of work to get to that. It's like, I agree with you, but I can't fully agree with you. That makes sense. Because what you're saying, like that gifting and hard work, I feel like that does make the genius. But I just feel like when someone's be like, that's a genius right there, I can never mount up to that. You can put the work in.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I mean, again, we can go round and round in circles. There are dudes who've been doing all kinds of stuff for years. Like they're okay. In the NBA, there are 400 slots. 400. There are 400 slots. There are dudes who I know who train and have trained. I know a dude right now, he's playing ball in Texas. He's been training since he was like 7 or 8 years old. He doesn't have anything special about his game. He just works really hard. He's not going to make it to the NBA. You can't tell people, you got to just work hard, and you can get there too. No, there's a bit of mystery in all of it. There's circumstances. There is mystery. I think God's will plays a huge part in it. But I also believe that there's gifting, there's hard work, there is circumstances. Like all of those things come together. It's not a polarity. That's all I'm trying to say. It's like you can't pit hard work against natural ability. You just can't do that because, again, the people who are exceptional all have both. Nobody ever looked at Beyonce and said, she's not gifted. She just works her butt off. No, she's gifted. Like, if you talk to Beyonce's parents, when she was 3 and 4 years old, they were like, oh, she's exceptional. Like, she likes to do this more than other kids like to do it. Like, she sounds better than these kids at 5 years old. That's a gift. Like, yeah. Now, would she be on the top of the world with just a gift? No. But the thing that makes her a genius is that she used her gifting and her hard work together to actually get her in the place that she needed to get to. So again, because we're way off of what I was trying to get to. I'm still going to call Kanye a genius, and I'm going to qualify it by the fact that he says that he's a genius. So Kanye has quoted, I am a creative genius. So let me use that as my catapult for what I'm saying. Kanye is a genius. And I think his genius is seen anytime we see any of his art. Like, you can't listen to a Kanye album or anything and think like this guy like doesn't understand the way sonics work. He doesn't understand how sound works. He understands all of that far beyond what I think we understand it, right? So I take it at that level. But then I always have to get to like the content. And like, what is Kanye doing with the content? And that's where I tend to get a little confused. One, in a good way, because I think he does stuff that other people would never do, and it sticks. But then I think he does stuff that's so wild that I don't know if it's good or if he's just an innovator, because all innovation is not good, right? So one of the big things I see in the album is like the immense amount of repetition. Like, I'm blown away at how much repetition is in this album. And I'm scared by it too. Did you pick that up?
Not until you said it, but like you said, so when we were troubleshooting earlier, I didn't think I knew the album like that. But every song that you would play or hum, not only did I know it, I knew the lyrics. Like, now I still don't know the titles to a lot of these songs because I'm passively listening to albums or podcasts when I'm at work. So I'm not like looking at the track listing or the title of the podcast. So I don't know the songs by names, but like again, when you were humming songs or you were playing in the background, I not only knew what the song was, I knew the lyrics. Yeah. That kind of, and you remember I said, I was like, dang, I know more of these songs than what I thought.
Yeah.
So
it to me, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. To me, it kind of felt like, okay, let me preface this. I think a lot of that online, let me put an album review out and talk about how there's these things that you don't understand in the album that are really getting to your mind, and Kanye is trying to do this and do that. I think a lot of that stuff is goofy, is weird, right? But there's something there. Like, there is something there. Like, if you study what allows for things to stick in people's brains and actually imprint into like their system, it's repetition. It's repetition. That's why the Donda chant at the beginning of the album is so weird to us, because we're cringe. Like, why is this sounds like a religious seance or something, right? This sounds like he's conjuring spirits. Well, why does it sound like that? It's the repetition. It's a repetition. Like I looked this up. The definition of a chant is melodic repetition for some type of, I think it said like worship or enchantment or something like that. Which I was like, yo, that's kind of weird. But then when they put music behind it, we tend to forget it. We tend to think like, oh, this is just a repetitive chorus. It's like, no, like he is imprinting these things into us, just like, in all fairness, just like any other artist does, right? But I believe that Kanye just went on overdrive. It really hit me when it was like, I know God breathed on it. I know God breathed on it. I'm like, okay, all right, God breathed on it. Like, all right, like, you know, if you go and look at the lyrics and you see how many times he repeats his choruses, you're like, yo, this dude is like, he's on to something. He's on to something. I don't know if I like it.
Hey, man. I think it's a great observation. I didn't see it as that, but you always say things that pique my interest. So
Junior
I think next time I listen to it,
yeah, they got everybody. He got everybody singing Junior Watanabe. They don't even know who that is.
I still don't know. And you explain. Oh, I was gonna ask you to explain on the podcast because I still don't know.
Yeah,
you like kind of.
I just looked it up. That's why I'm not smart or anything, but I just looked it up, and apparently Junior Watanabe is a Japanese designer, and he designs like all kind of like clothing wear and stuff like that. But he actually has a line of watches that Kanye has an exclusive one of, and yeah, he made a song talking about Junior Watanabe, I guess.
Tell him this.
See, there you go. It's in you. It's in you. And you know, let me, because this podcast, obviously, we want to get to the Bible. This is where our root is. But, you know, especially in certain realms of churches, they're trying to pull repetition out. Like, they're like, yo, a song shouldn't repeat these things over and over and over. And I'm like, have you read the Psalms? Like, David's constantly saying the same thing over and over and over, right?
Bro, and did they read Psalms 1?
Yeah, right. So I think repetition is a gift, right? And I think that's one thing that we have to embrace as people who say that we want to be Christian or we say we want to follow Jesus is, hey, there are some things in your life you're not going to get by doing it one time. And you're not going to listen to that Kanye song one time. You're not going to sing the chorus one time. You're not going to just say that particular thing in the chorus one time. It's going to be repeated over and over and over. And if we can do that with music, we should be able to do that with things that involve our personal worship life. You know, like when you're reading the scriptures, man, if you're reading Psalm 1, don't just read it one time. Like repeat it over and over and over, because what happens is it becomes ingrained in you. It becomes a part of who you are. You begin to reflect. You begin to get curious. Like it's only after the 145th time that I said Junior Watanabe that I said, I might have to look this dude up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens after the third time of you reading Psalm 4? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the Lord going to do in your heart after that? Or the 6th time or the 10th time? So, man, those are things that need to be embraced, deep.
I agree. And, I mean, that's why scripture memorization is important and is imperative, rather, because as you repeat, at first it may seem like you just memorize the scripture, you know, to feel like a good Christian, but with certain situations come up, as Byron is saying, if you're constantly meditating, again, as Psalms 1 says, on the scripture day and night, you're going to start to live by those. It's kind of hard to not live by those. And then, you know, with trials and tribulations come, just by nature, you're going to start quoting the scriptures to combat that. Yeah. And not only to combat it, but to encourage yourself and your spirit. So, yeah.
Cool, man. What any other thoughts on the album?
I was gonna say this for the end, but I want to say it now because I tend to forget a lot of stuff. Jay-Z, Little Baby, Lil Durk, Young Thug, Kid Cudi. Out of this whole little Kanye and Drake beef, them brothers is winning because they on both albums.
They got on both albums. You know, I didn't think that's where you were going with that.
Oh yeah,
I thought you were going. I thought you were going to mention the guys on the album that all had some level of like pseudo blasphemous content in their lyrics.
Oh, so Drake had something blasphemous. Jay-Z said something blasphemous. Um, Lil Durk kind of said something blasphemous, but Jay-Z, that one threw me off.
When we
He
say
was like,
blasphemous, what do we mean?
like going against, it's like sacrilegious, like going against something that we believe to be true. That, I mean, that's what my definition of it would be. So it's like in jail when Jay-Z said Hova and Jesus, like Moses, and you said this plenty of times, because it's always comparing himself to Jesus. That's like, bro, it's starting to get weird to me. It's like, bro, like, you really want to be like on the same plan? Like, bro, that's a lot that you don't even know that you're asking for.
Yeah, some
Like,
people brought this up in the comments on another video we did, and you're right. Jay-Z has always done that. You're right. I agree. He's always done it. It's always made
it's still weird.
It makes me uncomfortable. And I told you, I think I mentioned this in a podcast before. Like, that's why my wife and I, for a while, we didn't listen to Jay-Z, and that's my favorite rapper. And we didn't listen to Beyonce either, because of those elements. Like, and not just the elements, but being persistent and including those elements in all that you do. And then, I would want to know, I'm not critiquing Kanye, but I would want to know what Kanye thinks when he hears those things. Like, how does he feel as he's trying to walk this life out as a Christian? How does he feel when he hears those lines? Is it just good art to him, or it doesn't make him feel uncomfortable? I mean, obviously it doesn't make him feel so uncomfortable that he would keep it off the album, right?
Correct. I mean, so with that, Kanye is on his journey. I'm going to speak for Ty. If Ty was doing an album, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that, because the message, and granted, this album was, at least our knowledge, it was a dedication album to his mother. So I feel like that was the message of the album. But if your message is to put out Christian content or gospel content, a lot, not just Jay-Z, but a lot of those features on that album, it didn't sit right with me. And not on some like gospel to get secular. Me as an artist and just listening as a consumer for good music, I don't think those features made for a good song, if that makes sense to me. Like, Kanye was doing his thing, the artists were doing their thing, and I just don't feel like there was any cohesiveness there. That's just me. Other people was going crazy about it, and to each his own. But to me, I wasn't too crazy for the features. I feel like it didn't make for a good song.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of weighing these things out. I think generally, when I'm thinking about just general wisdom, I would be very cautious about having mixed messages. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Bible even speaks to that, about it's in a sense, it is kind of like being double-tongued or double-minded in your speech. When you include somebody in on a song that's supposed to be representative of where you are in a certain time and place with your walk, right? But then, I would also kind of weigh that against the idea, like, hey, how do we take art from Christians that is not exclusively Christian art, right? So that takes us back to the origins of this podcast, right? Like, Kanye's not a Christian rapper. Like, he's a rapper who proclaims to be Christian, and his content is obviously about things that he's actually experiencing in his life. I was thinking through some of the stuff that I heard. Like, he was talking about a lot of marital issues. Like, I mean, on multiple songs, he's talking about marital issues. He's talking about divorce, and like, jail is all about like him spazzing because his marriage is going, down the drain, and he might go to jail tonight. Like, that's what jail is about. So obviously Kanye is rapping his life, which is, I always give a thumbs up to authenticity. I just would love for that authenticity to be kind of a lot more like Jesus is King. But let's wrap the pod up like this, because I know we're gonna get some people to talk about this, especially after we clip this up. I've heard some people say, well, if you want Jesus is King, go listen to Jesus is King. to that, I would say I do. I listen to Jesus is King regularly. You know, some people would say like, if you want the old Kanye, even Kanye said that, right? If you want the old Kanye, listen to the old Kanye. I do.
I miss the old Kanye.
I listen to the old Kanye, right? But here's where I want us to sit for a little bit, and I hope our fans and the people. First of all, I'm gonna stop saying fans. We don't have fans. Y'all are family, right?
Thank you. Oh, yes.
The
I like
people,
that.
the people who we're connected with, and the people who would say it's family. Like, let me give you a license right now. A lot of people might object to this, but it's okay to critique Christian art. Like, there's this wave going on right now on social media where they think anytime you critique Christian art, you're a hater. You're not a hater. Like, art is meant to be criticized. Every artist knows that. That's why they put their art out. If they didn't put it out, I mean, if they didn't want you to criticize it, they wouldn't put it out. Like, art is meant to be criticized. And it's okay for you to criticize Christian art. Just because it comes from a Christian doesn't mean that you can't be critical of it and you can't weigh it against the word of God. Like, that's natural. It's natural. I'm gonna shout out Ruslan. That's my man. I love Ruslan. Ruslan dropped a tweet. I think it was last week where he was like, either he tweeted or he retweeted it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ruslan, but it said something of the nature of if you want to see. If you want theology, go to theologians. If you want art, go to artists. And he was trying to emphasize like we shouldn't have an expectation for Christian artists to give us theology. I get the point. I don't agree with the point completely. I more so agree with there's a quote by a guy named Randy Alcorn and R.C. Sproul. He says it too, but he basically what he says is all of us are theologians. There's never a time where we're not doing theology. There's never a time we're not doing theology. It's expressed in our lives. It's expressed in the way that we love our friends and our wives. It's expressed in the way that we live out our careers. It's expressed in how we interact with people and our kids. We're always doing theology. And it's funny that we've gotten to the point where we want to stop doing theology when it gets to art. Like we don't want theology to be a part of art right now, especially in this Christian sphere, in this Christian hip hop sphere, even more. But yet, you want to do theology in every other place. And let me show you how it's real life. And I'm gonna stop preaching after this. We look at people who have come before us. We look at people who were involved in civil rights and all that stuff, and we take the things that they did in their life, and then we see how that connects theologically to the scriptures. Or maybe your grandma and them. You know, you think about stuff that your grandma did growing up, and you see the hints of her faith, even in the most mundane things, and you connect them to these theological truths. Why would we stop doing that when it comes to entertainment? Why would we stop? I don't understand that. So for the person out there who might be struggling and trying to figure out do I listen to this? Do I not listen to this? Do I like this? Do I not like it? Here's something that you should grab hold to. It's okay to criticize art. It's okay to criticize Christian art. And for the people who say it's not, like, take a second and understand that many of you are critical as well. You're critical of your own art, and you're critical of the people who are wanting to view whether this has good connections to theology or bad connections to theology. That's my minute.
Just to push back a little on what Byron says. First off, I agree. Especially on social media, because a lot of y'all are keyboard warriors. There's a thin line between criticizing and judging. There's a way. I don't want to say there's a way to criticize. I would like to suggest a way to criticize. Like, if you're criticizing the art, do that. Some of these people are judgmental, and they're going at the art and the artist in a judgmental way.
Yeah.
So it's like, so then you lose the respect of it being criticization. Whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all see me fumble so bad just now. But yeah, you go from being criticizing to judging because of how you're doing it. So like, again, I'm not one to tell someone what to do or how to do something, but especially if you're a Christian, just really try to be Christian when you criticize it. Again, I agree with Byron. There's nothing wrong with criticizing. That's what this podcast is. I mean, not every podcast we're criticizing music or whatever, but we're giving our opinions and whatnot. But we still do it in grace. And again, I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to do something, but just be cautious of that because it could come across as judging. So be careful.
Yeah, I mean, you already know how I feel about the whole judging thing and all that stuff.
We
did we do it?
Oh yeah, I know how you feel.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, some people go hear this and be like, "Oh, vet." And
but
then,
look, man,
like I said,
all I want to say is like, cut the goofy stuff, man. Stop telling people that they can't. Stop calling people goofy for wanting to hear more Jesus in other artists' music. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with somebody tweeting, man, I wish Lecrae. Now, I will say this. Somebody got a tweet off the other day that was so wild, and everybody jumped on him. They was like, Kanye talked more about Jesus than Lecrae has in the last 10 years. And even I was like, come on, bro. Stop being goofy. Like, this is
that's
dumb.
no, that's goofy. That's what I'm saying. But that's not even criticizing.
But somebody expressing like, man, I wish Ye would have stayed on the path as Jesus is king. Like, there's nothing wrong with that assessment. Like, I wish Ye would have not had people blaspheming on tracks. Don't respond to that like, you shouldn't be going to Kanye for your theology. No, I'm not. I'm connecting his art to his theological beliefs and mine. Like, it's a bridge. And that's what 1 John 4:1 is about. Like, test every spirit, see if these spirits line up with the word of God. Like, see if these spirits line up with the spirit of God and what God has already revealed to you. Like, there's nothing wrong with that process. So stop trying to make it wrong for people to like be critical. All of us need to be critical thinkers. We all need to be critical in how we're dealing with these things. And stop being goofy. Don't put people in heaven and hell. You ain't got a heaven or hell to put nobody in. Like, that's just it. So
again, I agree.
Kanye, I love you, bro.
Kanye also won this battle. I thought we was gonna have more time to talk about Drake's album.
Ooh.
I'll just be brief with it. Yeah, I know. I'll be brief with it.
Yeah, it's too much sin in Drake's album. I'm joking.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm gonna leave it alone. But I mean, I'm gonna try to be short. Album wise, Kanye won that battle. We're listening to Drake's album from my first listen, just with the hype and whatnot. It was like, oh, this is a dope album. This, that, and the third, because he's really going at Kanye and other artists as well. But when I listened to it, I think like the third time through, I was like, let me listen to it and remove the Kanye references and the beef references. Outside of that, me personally, Ty, I think after Nothing Was the Same, Drake has been giving us the same album. He's not ready to settle down yet. He likes to do it. He like the life that he's living, messing around with different girls. I mean, the album is called Certified Lover Boy. And, just with the space I am in my life, it just, that album doesn't connect with me, Ty. I'm not speaking for y'all. Ty, man, that album doesn't speak with me. I really wish Drake would tap into that bag of giving us, well, he maybe is giving us his life as it is right now. And maybe, like I said, I'm just in a different space. But yeah, it just didn't resonate that well with me. So me personally, I think Kanye got that overall, like, who had the best album. I think because even though Kanye, we're giving our opinions on it, Kanye has always been good with letting us know where he is. Again, not saying Drake's not doing that, but I just resonate more with Kanye's. So that's me personally. I think Kanye got it.
Well, how much do you think you'll listen to this Kanye album over time?
Not that much, honestly. Not that much. I'll go back to it every now and then. Like Pablo, I think I've only listened to like 5 times. The Life of Pablo.
Yeah.
And you'll get different gems every time you listen. Sometimes music needs to, like you say, Kanye is a forward thinker. So it's like some songs may hit a little harder, in the future. I know it was like that with Pablo, but I don't see me like this is a go. Drake and Kanye, none of those are go-to albums for me.
Yeah, these are throwaway albums for me. I mean, I like. Hey, Kanye, keep growing, bro. Keep growing. I look forward to seeing how he works through some of this stuff. I pray that the stuff that's going on with Kim, that works out. I pray that he keeps growing in his art and that we get to keep consuming it. Overall, I would say it's decent art. I wouldn't sit and listen to Donda every day. I also wouldn't tell you to never go listen to it. I think it's okay to kind of listen and discern. whether you like it or not. For me, Jesus is King is the standard at this point. And then the Sunday Service album, I listen to that like almost every day.
No,
so
that's right.
That's where we at. Man, we love what Kanye is doing, and we'll probably talk about Kanye a whole lot more over time, but not today. Why? Because we already at an hour, and it's time to get out of here.
So again, if you want to get, you know what I'm saying, the exclusive Kanye West Donda merch, holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? Ty Van, aka Teddy Crucifix, aka your pastor's favorite rapper.
Yep.
Please follow me on all social media platforms at I am Ty Van. I have a single out called I Apologize. Please go check that out. Help your boy with the streams. I release a song every Wednesday. It's called, I'm sorry, not a song, a verse. Your Be-Day Safe Wednesdays. Every Wednesday is on YouTube, TikTok. Put it Ty Van, you'll find it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. Leave us a comment or a review on Apple so people can find us. I know that's a lot. Go ahead, Byron.
Yeah, if you are listening to this right now, you made it all the way to the end. I thank you. Keep rocking with us. We got a lot of new episodes coming up in the future, Lord willing. And we're not just going to be focused on Kanye. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. And we do want you, honestly, our biggest desire is that you're growing in the Lord and that you're walking with Jesus every single day. We want to be able to help you do that. So stay rocking with us. Make sure you follow us on everything. My name is Byron L. Cogdell. I'm Byron L. Cogdell on everything. Check us out for our midweek Bible study, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Find me on Facebook. I don't think I have anything else, but if I do, you'll hear about it next week.
Bro.
Yeah.
We still recording?
Yeah.
Bro, it's funny that we both release stuff on a Wednesday, every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And the podcast every Monday. I just think that's strange, but that's it.
Oh, yeah.